I always say I'm going to stop making these videos for the stone, but then new shit happens and I got to make it, all right? So if you don't know, we got a bit of a clusterfuck tomorrow. The problem is they're going to go finish round 2 in the morning, and then they're almost immediately. Maybe the PGA has announced it. Let me go look up PGA comms. What great television here you're watching. Look at me Googling shit. PGA, the second round was suspended. They'll resume at 7:45, so not even 7:15. The players who have not finished will resume the round at 7:45. If they have at least, what is that? Some of them have 8 holes left at least. I think they got 2 hours minimum. That means they're not done until 9:45, probably 10 more likely. They're not done until 10 local time. I think you see them get them out there by hopefully 10:30 or 11 at the latest. Takes them 2 hours to get them all off. Let's say they get them all off by 12:30. Yeah, they'd have time to finish, right? So yeah, even I think as long as they get everybody off by 1 o'clock, they should be able to get them done before dark. So that's probably what they're banking on, right? So I would probably count on round 3 starting. What time did I just determine? 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 o'clock, somewhere in that range, and then they'll probably go off in threes off 1 and 10. All right. Here's the stone. This is a clusterfuck because we got a lot of guys that could still make the cut. Like Morikawa right now is not making the cut, but you're a fool if you don't think that he can go get 2 birdies on the way home, right? He can't play the last 5 holes at 2 under. You're a fucking fool because I don't know if that's likely, but it's definitely a possibility. Okay. So these guys, injury watch, yes, they're not actually injured. It just means you got to watch those guys. They could miss the cut, but they could also make the cut, okay? Some guys I just fucking excluded. Like the editor's cutting all these guys in blackout, and the guys that obviously aren't going to make it, like Dahman. Mav McNeely ain't going to make the cut because he withdrew. Guys like that, okay? But, like, some guys, basically, if they're within, 3 shots of the cut, I have to keep them on there because if they end up making the cut, you need to know what they have. So we're going to leave those guys on there and just designate them with an injury watch, right? And then there's some guys like Decky who are currently 2 shots clear of the cut, right? He's at -1 right now, and it's at +1 as the cut. But if he goes out there and gets 3 bogeys tomorrow morning, he could miss the cut. So don't think just because he's on the good side of it that he's automatically going to make the cut. So basically, anybody lingering within 3 shots of the cut line either way. Well, of course, if they're already done with their round, I didn't fucking mark him. If you're even and you're in the house, you have nothing to sweat. You're definitely playing tomorrow, right? But guys that are at +1 that are done, they do have to sweat because we don't know what the line's officially going to be. It could be even, it could be +1. I think it'll certainly be one of those two. And then we also got to know that there's guys that can moonwalk backwards with some bogeys in the morning, and there's also guys that could, make a little boat race charge in the morning and backdoor the cut. And those guys would be nuts plays at Showdown because not a soul is going to fucking play them. So that's what you're monitoring over here, right? A lot of these guys are going to be cut out. This is the pre-cut up version. I'm just making this video so the editor can go post this video along with it. As always, we have our pivots. Okay, we got our high leverage guys. That means they're showing up in the optimals more than they are going to be played. Okay, which isn't saying a lot because I don't think anybody's going to fucking play some of these guys. No one's going to play Siwoo tomorrow. And we got our sleepers down here. Got some sleepers. My rule on sleepers is I go up to 7,500. You know what my rule is? Whatever the fuck I want it to be. That's what my rules are, okay? I fucking make it as I go. If I see somebody that I want to mark, I fucking mark them as a sleeper. There's my rules, Bob. We got our cash plays. I'm trying not to give too many cash plays. To be honest with you, I'm not playing a single cash play tomorrow. I'm just in that GPP groove. I'm just going to keep rolling in GPPs. High upside guys. GPPs, don't think just because somebody's an orange, they're not a good play. I'm just saying they don't meet the requirements of the other two. They're not a cash play, and they're not a guy that scores super high rounds at as frequent as a level as those around them. That's what dictates high upside. Ownership, still just doing the buckets. If you don't like it, fuck it. No, it's going to look, we'll do ownership, like generic ownership projections over on the solver the best we can, but it's Showdown. I mean, you ain't going to get good ownership Showdown. It's ownership for Showdown. And you want to know the real reason? I'm the fucking reason. People have started changing the way they play. A guy in the past like Adam Hadwin legit would have been 40% owned this time last year. Before my show started, he would have been 40% owned coming in second place on a Saturday, and he was cheap. But now people know like good play or average or, even slightly above average players like Adam Hadwin are not good plays to play on Saturday when they're in a fucking grouping with Scheffler and Rahm. Okay. It's just a bad play. And so I think you'll see Adam Hadwin something more like, 15 to 20% probably in that range. So you're just getting the buckets for now. Okay. That's what you get. Tee times. This is important. We can't do the tee times because, well, first of all, fucking we don't have tee times, right? That's pretty obvious. And the other thing is I was like, hey, let's code it that it does this, but that was just too confusing. So let me just tell you this. When you get tee times tomorrow, you want guys going out the very latest, and that is going to be guys at the very top of the leaderboard. John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler will all be up there, or guys who just barely make the cut. If that number is, by the way, if you watch the Showdown, Hoedown, you already know all this shit. If the cut is +1, Doug Gim, Alex Noren, Andrew Putnam, Chris Kirk, any other guys that backdoor in start to become really good plays. If the cut moves to even, you're going to want to be checking out guys like Bo Hostler, Kitayama, Tigala, Webb Simpson, Seamus Power. Those guys will be going out the very first, right? This is as easy as I can explain it. The further down they are, and let's just pretend that the cut was T64, right? So here we go. This was the final cut. Patrick Rogers was the last guy in. That means he will be the very last guy out. He will be in the last grouping tomorrow. The last grouping tomorrow would be Patrick Rogers, Denny McCarthy, and Robert Streb, which if you actually know your shit, you'll know that I'm kind of lying. I think it would go off who had the worst last round, so it would actually be Streb, Fitzpatrick, and Keith Mitchell, it looks like. But the point being, they're going to be in the last 2 or 3 groups going out. And then the guys that are at the very top of the leaderboard, Scheffler, Rahm, and Hadwin will be the last group off of 1. The group right before that will be Sungjae, Wyndham Clark, and if Jonathan Vegas finishes this round, it would be him. Okay, that's how they do it. And they'll just keep going off in 3s. Who will be going out in the middle? It'll be all these guys right here. Danny Lee, Duffner, Lauer, Tway, Hahn, Harmon, Lashley, Dahman, Siwoo, Horschel. Those guys will be going out first, probably 2 hours before the leaders do. Because, whenever you're putting them off on both tees and you've got, 76 players that are currently +1 or better, that's 13 groups going off of each side. Even if you put them out every 10 minutes, that's 2 hours and 10 minutes to get them all out there. Back to the stone, we've got event score, last round score. You got to remember, a lot of these guys still have last rounds going, so it kind of messes with their numbers. A lot of guys' approach numbers aren't fair because they haven't got to finish their round yet, right? So they could be really high because they're just at the start of a round, or it could be really low because they haven't got to finish their round, and maybe they, if you've hit 5 bad shots out of your first 10, you're going to have a real bad average, right? So there you go. You got to just work with it. There's just no way we could wait for the round to finish and get you these numbers in a time that you could analyze it, okay? We're doing the best we can. Fucking stupid Frost fucked us this week, right? Just like he did in junior English, right? But I believe that was Robert Frost because I didn't understand his poems. Okay. Short game regression should be generally good. Once again, some of the guys haven't finished. Bad round regression should be pretty accurate. Historical round 3 is very accurate. Price relationship is good. Projections are coming. They'll be loaded up into the solver as soon as we get them. Those take a lot longer. They got to marinate, and then you got to bake them in the oven. Then you got to put them under the broiler. Then you got to let them sit. That's a lot. It's a lot, okay? Maybe those are chicken wings. I'm just hungry. Okay. And then there you go. That's everything else you should know, okay? I apologize. Trust me. What the fuck am I apologizing for? Do you realize how hard it was to do all of this in such short time and still get it to you? You're fucking welcome is what I mean. Hey, let's keep kicking ass. Enjoy the stone. Just understand that you're going to have to babysit. Hideki looks like he's going to make the cut, but he could miss the cut. Colin Morikawa looks like he's going to miss the cut, but he could make the cut. Okay, so you got to just watch those guys, and that's a lot of fucking guys in purple. All these ones in black that you're seeing on my screen, those won't be on there when he posts them, so you don't worry about those. You don't worry about them. All right, guys, good luck. Let's go kick some ass. Let's keep the flag flying. I appreciate all of you once again. Later, motherfathers.